Hello and welcome to Will Smith's Midlife Crisis Management. I recently had a birthday party where my godfather took me aside to tell me to take control of my life. So I made a list of things I should stop doing now I'm 35. Making machine gun noises at the urinal. Getting upset with George Lucas. Writing hate mail to George Lucas. Flicking imaginary switches on the roof of my car and contacting the tower to get clearance to drive. And air guitaring. I've also made a list of things I should start doing now that I'm 35. Learn the names of trees. Recognise bird calls. Talk to a plumber without blushing. Take my Steven Seagal VHSs to a charity shop. Buy Steven Seagal films on DVD. Learn the rules of cricket. Smell wine like I know what I'm looking for. And air bassooning. On top of that, I should start looking for a dutiful wife, especially if I'm to achieve my goal of playing James Bond by the time I'm 40. With the exception of Daniel Craig, all actors who have played Bond were married when they were offered the part. It's more wholesome, makes me look more of a regular guy, which I think is ultimately more appealing than the brooding sex pest that is Craig's Bond. As I said, my godfather Peter Black is helping guide me through this process of renewal. Peter, what do I need to change?
I think you need to look at your image. I mean, I was shocked by what you wore at your birthday party. Who hosts a party in slippers? I'll tell you who. A man who's given up.
You're making a big deal out of it.
You had your pajamas on under your trousers.
Look, it's really cold getting changed for bed. That way, I never have to get a chill when I'm naked. I've tried changing under the duvet and I get all tangled up. I nearly put my back out.
And all over the country, women are now turning to their partners and saying, why can't you be more like him? You've got to take more pride in your appearance.
But it's so confusing. When I was 15, I dressed like I was middle-aged. Now I've got to middle age, my optimum age for clothing. Everyone else is dressing like they were 15 again.
You see, I like that. I hated having to dress like an old fogey. Now I can be cool again. I bought a leather jacket for when I go and see bands like the Kaiser Chiefs. And razor lighter.
I don't want to have to think about what to wear. I'd rather just have a series of functional smocks.
Clothes say a lot about who you are. If you start dressing better, you feel better.
But I hate the whole process of clothes shopping. And the other week I went to a tailor to get a suit, and it was so stressful. The questions were endless. Double-breasted, single-breasted, 2 or 3 buttons. I felt overwhelmed and paralysed by the choices on offer.
Okay, so we have the single-breasted cut, 2 buttons, 1 inside pocket. Now, for the other, don't like flaps.
And the flap just covers the top of the pocket.
Yeah, it covers the pocket.
So I suppose it would be good if I had a book or a pamphlet in the pocket and I was caught in the rain.
I suppose.
But then if I had a book or a pamphlet that was bigger than the pocket, it would poke out of the top, which would render the flap redundant.
Flap or no flap, it's up to you.
I suppose the ideal scenario for no flaps is when I have an outsized map or pamphlet on a rain-free day. I wonder how often that happens statistically. Can you go ahead and I'll let you know later?
I need to know before I start, for the cut.
Well, maybe I should take a note of how often I use the pockets on my other jacket.
Do you have flaps on your other jacket?
Can't remember.
What do you want then?
Flaps. No flaps? No, flaps.
No flaps.
No, flaps.
No flaps?
No, comma, flaps.
There is no comma flaps! There's comma bun! You want one?
No cummerbund and flaps.
Okay. Flaps.
Yes, flaps. Or maybe no flaps. So if I'm going to change the way I look, I need to know how to make clothes shopping fun.
Well, this week's guest should help you with that. Let's welcome fashion journalist and host of ITV2's Don't Wear That, Wear This, Kathy Dixon.
Hi, Kathy.
Hello, everyone. Oh boy, do I have my work cut out for me. Letting men dress themselves is like letting a dog run a butcher's.
Is it? How?
In both cases, you need to leave it to the women to clear up. Am I right, girls? Yeah. I mean, look at you. Clothes should be an extension of yourself, an expression of who you are. If the eyes are the window of the soul, then the clothes are the garden, baby.
That's the kind of thing I've been saying. I mean, my look tells you a lot about me. Deck shoes. I view life as a voyage of discovery. Salmon pink chinos. I'm a man who likes the finer things in life. Yellow polo neck sweater. I'm a guy who looks on the bright side. A denim blazer. I'm part cowboy, all sailor.
Yeah, I actually have another interpretation of that. Deck shoes, last time I was happy was when I was watching Howard's Way. Salmon pink chinos, I buy my clothes from a 3 for 2 offer in the back of the Telegraph. Yellow polo neck sweater, I'm president of the Brian Sewell fan club. Denim blazer, I dress like a lesbian.
I don't want you to say anything about what I'm wearing.
I've got nothing to say. You're a classic fanny. It stands for fashion altogether, not for you.
You've got an extra F in there. That would be fanfy.
I'm doing not for as one word.
That's not how acronyms work. I hate it when people just add letters that don't stand for anything, or people who say PIN number. They're actually saying personal identification number.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Authority. So what else is in your book of rules? That women should be seen and not heard?
Of course not. That's a completely unenforceable rule.
Right, well, I've got a little quiz to make you realize how much you need help with your dress sense. Question 1. What is your best outfit?
Okay, so you're expecting me to drop the names of some fabulous labels, but it's actually a gorgeous little dress I picked up at Topshop. I can wear it for dancing, dining, whatever. It looks great on the red carpet. It looks even better on the bedroom carpet.
I've got a limited edition sleeveless Queen t-shirt from the Kind of Magic tour.
Question 2. What is your worst outfit?
Oh, probably the bright green jumpsuit I wore in the 80s. What was I thinking?
I once made the mistake of wearing white jeans.
Fashion crime numero uno.
I haven't finished. I made the mistake of wearing white jeans to a screening of Gremlins. Let's just say I had to wait until the entire cinema had emptied before I could make my way home.
Question 3. What's the most expensive item of clothing you've ever bought?
Oh, easy. My Jimmy Choos. £800, but worth every penny, am I right, ladies?
I paid £300 on eBay for the shoe with the block tied to it that Short Round used to drive the car at the beginning of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
What are you talking about?
They had a prop sale from the Indiana Jones films. I got outbid on everything else, you know, the Staff of Ra, Marion's dress, set of fake grails, rubber Nazi. It was all I could afford.
Yeah, the lesson there is never buy your clothes online. Try it before you buy.
I was never going to wear it. It was one child's shoe, not even a pair. Plus, I like shopping online. That way I can avoid a look of contempt from someone who didn't even bother to turn up for their GCSEs.
The reason you don't like it is you're taking it too seriously. You're treating it like work.
But it is work. Just endless questions and decisions about sizes and colours. I was exhausted after my suit fitting.
The thing about a suit, Will, is it's a little bit dull. So it's never going to be fun shopping for one. It's like rice. Who gets excited about buying rice? Now, I had a friend who only wore suits. Suits to work, suits at home, suits on holiday. If he could have worn suit pyjamas, he would have done. It was like he was turning into a suit. And I said to his wife, why does he always wear suits? Let's get him in some T-shirts and bandanas. And she said, no, he likes suits. And I thought, well, we know who wears the trousers in that marriage. It wouldn't suit him too well if his wife was to have an affair.
Does this story have a point?
Why do stories need to have a point that is so male? Will, can't you just enjoy the tableau?
Look, one of the reasons I wanted a suit is it's timeless. The reason I don't like fashion is it's always changing.
And you can't control it. You feel undermined as a man.
I do feel undermined as a man, but not because of that. That's an entirely separate issue to do with lack of sexual stamina and a fear of dancing.
Now, Will, I understand your problem. We get a lot of people like you on my show. You've had bad experiences with clothes in the past, and you're too self-conscious about how you look. Clothes should be fun. I want you to have the same sense of fun and excitement you have when you shop for clothes as you do when you're buying a fancy dress costume. Forget stuffy old tailors. Let's get a smile on that face.
I've never had fun at a fancy dress party.
Well, what about when you were a kid?
I wasn't allowed to go to them as a kid.
Why not?
My parents didn't think it was right to spend money on clothes I would wear only once. So if I'd have wanted a frog costume, I would have had to wear it all the time.
But I remember seeing a photo of you as a child dressed in lederhosen with an alpine hat. What was that for?
General leisure wear.
Maybe we should get you along to some fancy dress parties now. Get you to lose those inhibitions.
As an adult, I've been to fancy dress parties, all of them disastrous. The first one, I didn't know it was a fancy dress party. So I turned up, everyone was dressed as superheroes and cowboys, but I thought quickly.
It's supposed to be fancy dress. What have you come as?
I'm a plainclothes detective.
You're a plainclothes detective?
I'm dressed as one.
The filth! Vic, run!
Why is he climbing out of the window? He broke his ankle trying to get away from me. Apparently that was my fault. I say, rather than talking up your criminal status to impress women, pay your parking fines. Now, the second party, again, didn't say it was fancy dress, but I was wary of being caught out again. As I arrived, I saw people going in and assumed, because of the way the women were dressed, it was a Vickers and Tarts party. Thankfully, I managed to fashion a makeshift dog collar from a piece of card and made my entrance.
You've got a bit of card stuck under your collar.
I know. I'm a vicar.
Are you? What are you doing here then?
Not a real vicar. A fancy dress one. I mean, you're not a real whore, are you?
How dare you?
I'm just complimenting your costume. You look like a proper prostitute. Oh, have I made a faux pas?
Yes, you bloody have.
Are you actually a prostitute?
No.
Did you want to be one then? I mean, you could. You've got the looks. Well, to be honest, from what I can gather, all tastes are catered for. Yup, that was another crap salad I had to eat.
Okay, I can see I'm not going to convince you on the fancy dress approach. You're what we call in the industry a CDWD. Can't dress, won't dress.
I can and do dress. Otherwise, I'd be standing here naked.
It's just an expression.
It doesn't make any sense, though.
How about I help expand your wardrobe by building on what you like? What's your favourite outfit?
It's probably easier by a process of elimination to tell you looks I don't like.
I hate clogs on a woman. And capes.
Does that affect your life much, apart from not being able to go to a Dutch superhero convention?
Not really, I just don't like those looks.
Guys, fashion is all about being an individual. Now, Will, you've got to think about yourself as a brand. What is brand Will?
I don't know, really. Trousers?
What have you done in your life? What makes you tick?
I like to watch the news.
Okay, what made you feel good about yourself this week? Something that you might want to communicate through your clothes?
I got a rolled-up sandwich bag in the bin from across the kitchen on the third attempt.
Why didn't you just put it in the bin?
Because my mama didn't raise no quitters. Well, except for my brother.
What does your brother do?
He works for Médecins Sans Frontières.
But that's a really noble organisation. They give free medical care to people in war zones.
Is it? I thought it was a circus. I don't read his emails properly.
Look, you're not giving me much to work on.
Well, I don't really hold with all this dressing to reflect your personality. I mean, people used to dress according to the job they had. That way you could look at someone and immediately judge them. Now it's all over the place. Case in point, flip-flops on men. I've even seen flip-flops worn with trousers. The world has gone mad.
But you like suits, the dullest outfit there is, and you won't recognise true innovation in fashion, people who create their own look.
Like who?
I'll tell you who I think dresses amazingly well. Pete Burns.
The singer from Dead or Alive?
That's him.
Was on Celebrity Big Brother?
Same guy.
Got in trouble for having a gorilla skin coat?
Are you just saying all the facts you know about Pete Burns?
I'm just amazed you think he dresses well. It's as though you've just said, I'll tell you who I think should negotiate the ceasefire. Liam Gallagher. Being an individual doesn't make you right. You could be insane.
Women like men who dress in their own way. Threads turn heads. OK, Will, I see you in brogue winkle pickers, red skinny jeans, a figure-hugging black shirt with some brocade detailing, and a canary yellow neck scarf.
I would not be interested in the kind of woman who would be attracted to that look. I'm looking for a wife, not a care assistant.
You know, your type just wants a servant. You never got over leaving mummy. You just want to control women and own them. Have a nice little wifey at home.
Yes, and in return, she will be given food and lodging. It's a perfectly equitable arrangement.
Who said romance isn't dead? Meet your knight in shining tweed.
Can you get shining tweed? I mean, that I might consider.
If fashion is a war, you are a conscientious objector.
I don't understand what's wrong with my look. It reflects who I am. It's completely false to create a new look as though that represents any kind of inner sense of me.
Well, if that's how you feel, you should just stay as you are.
Thank you.
Dressing like a pre-war bachelor about to take his eunuch exams.
Like I say, it's who I am.
Well, just stick to your suit then.
I would, but tragedy struck. Hello, is that Mr. Lin?
No, it's his nephew.
Is Mr. Lin there?
I'm afraid Mr. Lin was taken ill yesterday.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What happened?
Oh, he had some kind of seizure.
I only saw him a few days ago. He seemed fine.
He would get so stressed. We told him to slow down, but he wouldn't listen. He wanted to make the best suit for his customers. The morning he collapsed, somebody rang 5 times, changing his mind about flaps on his pockets. It drives him crazy.
Oh, God, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. Incidentally, do you know what he settled on? I think the last time I left a message saying go with flaps, he may not have got it.
Oh, was you?
Yeah. Well, unless you get many people ringing up changing their minds about flaps.
No.
Buddy, you should come with a health warning.
I don't think it was necessarily my fault.
Hello? Take the espadrilles out of your ears. Of course it was your fault.
I just wanted to get it right.
Whenever you wear that suit now, you're going to be thinking of one thing.
I know. Should I have had the flaps?
I was thinking more that you nearly killed a man getting it made. You want to wear clothes that make you feel good about yourself.
How come some people look good in anything, though? I mean, why can't I look like Audrey Hepburn? I'll rephrase that. How come Audrey Hepburn always looks amazing?
Well, some people just have that inner elegance and beauty that radiates through their clothes. They almost don't need fashion to look good.
I'll tell you someone who doesn't need fancy clothes to look beautiful, and that's the girl from Doctor Who. Whatever she wears, she looks great. Whenever I meet a woman I am attracted to and I want to give her a compliment, I say to her, the way you look tonight, the way you move, you remind me of Billy Idol.
And how does that go down?
They're usually speechless.
Maybe that's because Billy Idol is a new wave singer from the 80s, known for his peroxide hair and snarling upper lip.
Damn. Who am I thinking of?
Billy Piper.
I thought he was a jockey.
I think you should just let the suit go.
I couldn't. Hi, it's Will Smith again. I'm just wondering if my suit was ready.
We'll be ready next week. We will honor all my uncle's work.
I kind of need it for Saturday.
Okay. I will have to work on it tomorrow. I'm supposed to visit him in the hospital, but it's what he would want.
Great. I mean, probably helped take your mind off it. I think it was only the flaps to do. Sorry. Look, I'm being really insensitive here. I'll tell you what. Forget the flaps. That should make it easier.
Look, you want flaps or no? You want flap, I give you flap. You no want flap, I no give you flap. It's very simple. It's whatever you want. If you want, I give you flap on one side, no flap on the other. make a mix of your own bloody mind.
Can you do that? No, it would look a bit odd.
Did you get the suit then?
I did, but it was for a social occasion, and it didn't go down particularly well.
Will, about your suit. I think you should leave.
Is it the flaps? I know it's lopsided, but I'm trying to work out whether to go with flaps or no flaps. I can tuck the one flap in.
It's not the flap. It's what's stitched across your shoulders.
Eh?
When your suit catches the light, you appear to have the word bastard written across your back.
It's my tailor. He blames me for his uncle's breakdown. I wouldn't wear that on purpose to your son's christening.
As you know, we only got married after Jack was born, so a lot of people find it offensive.
Actually, that is a shame because I think that suit would look good on you.
I look great in a tux, actually. Another reason why I should play Bond.
Like in a radio play.
No, in the films.
Yeah, but that's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
No, it isn't. I'm tall, I'm slim, I'm English. I can't hold down a relationship.
But whoever plays Bond has to have a magnetic sexuality.
Not true. What about Roger Moore?
He's moved on. Look at Daniel Craig. He looks like he could make love to you doing one-arm press-ups while he fights off rivals with his other hand.
Why is that appealing? That implies he lacks focus and is also performing sex in some sort of open-plan area.
Honey, he can have me anywhere. I mean, did you see him in those trunks?
He looked ridiculous in those trunks, and the film was rubbish. There was no moneypenny, no queue, no gadgets, and the second film was even worse. The villain's plan was, I'm going to put your water bill up. Pathetic.
Look, honey, the days of sexist fantasy Bond are over. You can't turn back the clock on that, nor should you.
I can and I will. And furthermore, I promise the British public that when I am gifted with the role of Bond, I will do no research whatsoever. I will not perform my own stunts. I will not give interviews where I talk about a new, gritty Bond, truer to the books. I will, however, make crap puns and ponce about exotic locations with beautiful women. It will be cartoonish, implausible, and full of crass innuendo. I will be Roger Moore reborn, and that is how you want it.
You can rant and rave all you like, but you've got about as much chance of playing Bond as Bruce Forsyth.
That's a bit harsh.
Thank you, Peter.
I think Bruce is in pretty good shape.
You haven't got the physique for it.
Well, you'll never know.
What, too scared to take your shirt off?
No.
What's the problem? Have you got man boobs?
That's a very personal question. I wouldn't ask you if you had lady balls.
What are those?
You tell me.
Come on, what's your big secret?
You know what? I'm fed up of hiding this. Here.
Oh, what's that?
A tattoo.
Broadsword calling Danny boy? Is that like gay code?
It's not gay code. It's from Where Eagles Dare, one of the finest war films ever made.
Why have you got that, Will?
There was a girl I liked at university. I overheard her in a bar saying she loved tattoos and that her favourite film was Where Eagles Dare. Turns out I misheard, and she loved fake lesbian Russian pop duo Tattoo, and her favourite film was Dude, Where's My Car?
I've never seen Where Eagles Dare. Who's in it?
Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood.
Which one's Broadsword and which one's Danny boy?
It's not between them. It's not their code names. It's between Richard Burton and Michael Hordern.
So it's a love triangle.
It's not a love triangle.
Is it about the Eagles? They're fantastic.
No, it's not about the Eagles.
It's the film set in the castle, right?
Yes, you must have seen it.
Rings a bell. You sure it's not about the Eagles? They did a song about a castle.
You mean Hotel California?
Yes. Is that the song at the end of the film?
Why would they play Hotel California at the end of Where Eagles Dare? Although some have interpreted the song as being about a mental hospital or a hotel run by cannibals, it's pretty obvious that it's an allegory about the hedonism and self-destruction of the South Californian music scene of the late 1970s. At no point has anyone ever suggested it is a musical tribute to the Alistair MacLean thriller, mainly because its lyrics do not contain allusions to fights in cable cars with double agents at Nazi castles.
The the perfect look for you. It's whatever they make the inmates wear in the psycho wing of a prison.
Can I just say, what makes you such an expert on fashion? You know nothing.
Yeah, I know nothing. That's why I'm a best-selling fashion writer.
Oh, yeah. How many books have you sold?
Oh, what is it with men and measuring things?
So not that many then?
I've sold 1 million.
Great, good. So now I know. Good. And what do you get per copy though? 10p?
Pound.
Right, so that's
That's £1 million.
Yeah, I know. I can do the maths.
Do you want to know my viewing figures too?
No, I don't care how many people watch your show. It's rubbish. Every week you do the same thing. You tell a fat woman to stop wearing jogging bottoms and put on a dress. Or you tell them to put on an elasticated corset to keep their guts in. Maybe brush their hair, or tell them to wash it if they're from the north. I fail to see the entertainment value in getting middle-aged women to walk up and down a high street in their underwear to boost their confidence. At least when Benny Hill did it, the women were hot and the music had a tune.
So how do you help people, Will? You hospitalised a tailor, made a man jump out of a window, told a woman she dressed like a prostitute, and ruined a christening. You're a dick.
Yeah, well, what does that stand for?
Nothing.
So, Will, what have you learned this week?
Don't anger your tailor by inducing a seizure in a member of his family.
Will Smith's Midlife Crisis Management was written by Will Smith and Roger Drew. It was performed by Will Smith, Roger Allam, Morwenna Banks, Janice Acquah, Jill Cardo, Lobo Chan, Gunnar Kotri, Don LaHughes, Dan Starkey and Tom Wu. The producer was Tilusha Gilani.
Hi.
Oh, it's you.
Yes.
Suit okay?
There's something on the shoulders. Some stitching.
No problem. I sort. There you go, huh? It's one big flap. You want bag?
No. Yes. Maybe?
Get out!